Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2020. The album, Dad, AF, Jeepers, Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Yes, I went to Whorehound weekend yesterday. Oh my God, I had so much fun. I saw the Scream panel for the movie Screams. I saw Neve Campbell and David Arquette, and I sat on the panel. Well, I didn't sit on it, but I listened to the panel for Saw. I saw so many scary movie celebrities. I saw the Jeepers Creepers truck. You can see it all too. I vlogged the entire thing. A lot of people came up to me and were like, oh my God, I watched your videos. People were so nice. So I want to give a shout out to Erica and I want to give a shout out to Kristen because they were two of the people that came up to me and we talked for a long time about YouTube and stuff like that. There was so much merchandise, you guys. There were so many t-shirts, so many stickers, so many living dolls, so many costumes, unbelievable costumes that people walked around and wore. And I have a lot of it on my video, so that's on my vlog today. But I want to show you the shirt that I bought. Here it is. I wanted to get it, like I was going to get a couple t-shirts, and instead I was like, no, I think I want to buy something really different that is just one of a kind. So I bought this flannel shirt. You're like, oh my God, you thrifted a flannel shirt. I did, but on the back of it, so it is from the store. I want to make sure I get her store name right because she was so fantastic. Her name is Pretty Spooky Handmade, and she makes all this stuff remade. It is so cool. She has flannel shirts, she has jean jackets, she has jean vests, flannel vests, everything. And on the back of them, they have these patterns, right, that she takes these off of t-shirts and puts them on there. So there were The Walking Dead and Halloween and blah, 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 whatever. And I got the upside down player's manual. This is from Strangers with Candy. Like, did you ever watch that show? Did you ever watch that show back in the day, Strangers with Candy? Oh my God, I love that show so much. Hey Judy, nice camel toe. Anyway, oh my God, I love Strangers with Candy. So this is with Stranger Things. Fantasy role-playing game. Did you see that? Is this not so cool? And I'm going to put a picture up on my Instagram today, and then I'm going to link them to it, and you can go check them out, and I will put it underneath here as well. She doesn't have a store. I was like, why don't you have a store? She's like, I'm just getting used to social media thing. And I said, I totally relate to you. Me too. I'm just getting used to the social media thing. So 3 years later, I'm still not used to it. So that was my day yesterday. I had such a blast, and it was so much fun doing something different. But today, we are back to the world of drama. We must talk. We must talk about James Charles. We must talk about Nikita Dragun, okay? We must also talk about Joey Graceffa because he has inserted himself in the middle of all of this. But mostly, I'd like to talk about James Charles. Now, let me tell you what I did today, okay? I got up and I went to brunch with my husband, and then afterwards, I went and I did a review of the Dunkin' Donuts cotton candy colada, and that's over my review channel. And then my husband was watching movies on Netflix, and I laid down next to him, and I fell fast asleep, which is why this video is up so late. So I know that every other video has been put out already about James Charles and this palette. So, if you don't know what you don't know, it's a lot. Let me tell you about this palette situation, okay? Which I'm sure everybody already knows about this. So, I got sent so many DMs, okay? So, if you're sitting out there and you're like, hey, Peter, I gave you the information, but you didn't shout me out. I'm really sorry, but I mean to tell you, got like 40 or 50 DMs specifically about this. And then it continued throughout the night because little things would happen. So, Wet n Wild is at DragCon, okay, I think in New York, and they premiered their new palette, okay? Well, the palette is a rainbow palette, and it looks very similar to James Charles' Morphe palette. And I have to tell you, it's kind of a good idea that I waited on this, because when I sleep, I dream. I dream of a world. Now, I dream and I like wake up and I'm like, ugh, and then I have so many conspiracies. I have so many conspiracies of the world when I dream. So I actually have a new conspiracy about what happened yesterday, and it's just alleged in my opinion. So anyway, so I was watching all this go down, and Wet n Wild came out with this palette, okay? And James Charles immediately, and I have them all screenshotted, but everybody's already done it, so I'm not gonna talk about it. He was like, that palette looks very similar. I think it reminds me of something. He was being snooty, okay? What he was basically saying was that Wet n Wild duped his entire, stole his entire palette, okay? They just copied it. And then underneath there, it was interesting because people started going in and they're like, the layout is even identical, the layout is exact, the colors are exact, blah, 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 whatever. Now, I'm sitting here watching this and I'm like, James, you better shut your mouth. It's going to turn on you. This is going to turn on you, okay? So then what was interesting was that at some point, Wet n Wild, oh my Lord, losing fans already. Wet n Wild said, we've had it, okay? And so they tweeted something out. I need to start pulling up this stuff. Hold on a second. Let me get into my receipts. My receipts, Whitney. Well, first of all, let me just show you. I put a picture together. Here is a picture, where is it at? Here is a picture of the palettes on top of each other. Where is it? Come on, I have it on here already. Okay, so here it is. On top is the Wet n Wild palette, and on the bottom is James Charles palette, okay? So yes, it looks very, very similar. But I also want to say this to you, it's a trick of the eye, because, and the colors and the patterns are similar, but there's a lot of colors that are mixed around that might be in the third row center that are now over on the right-hand center. If I took, let's say, 40 similar colors, okay, and I threw them on a page for you, and I mixed them around a little bit, even if they weren't identical, they were similar, the trick of the eye is you would see it as being similar, right? So it's kind of like that back in the day when you would do those. Remember when that highlighter magazine back in the day that you would look and you would think it was similar, but it wasn't. It was different, right? Okay, so this is interesting to me. Well, then, then people start saying to him, well, James Charles, you don't own the rainbow. Okay, you don't own the rainbow and all this kind of stuff. And he says, there are only so many colors you can put into an eyeshadow palette, and I'm not claiming to own specific colors, but when you copy the exact shades and layout from my palette without even trying to hide it, okay? Well, I just put them side by side. They're not exact, okay? He said when you copy the exact shades, the shades are not exact, and layout from my palette, and the layout is not exact, without even trying to hide it. So, you know, it's interesting at this point, now James is coming out and he is making some pretty serious allegations that they have copied shade for shade and the layout exact. Well, that's pretty serious, okay? And so, let me get in here some of the other tweets. And then people start coming for him. He acts like he's the first time anyone stole an idea. I don't think he realizes how many similarities there are throughout all makeup products, blah, 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 blah. Well, here's the issue that he's going off about this, right? Wasn't it just a week and a half ago that he stole the entire idea from Antonio Garza and that the Brad Mondo and those people about doing the hair color? And then everybody was like, oh no, he didn't steal that idea. Yeah, he tagged him in the idea, right? So you want to be talked about as, he refers to himself as a creative or a creator. When I watch this Joey Graceffa did a video, right? With Nikita Dragun, it's called like, I don't know, Campfire Kiki or something. It was okay. We're going to talk about that in a second. Oh, Lord. But anyway, you know, he wants to refer to himself as a creative and as a creator, okay? And as a copier, I guess you should refer to yourself as, because you copy their ideas. And then when somebody else does it to you, you want to be pissed about it. But when you do it, oh, no, I didn't do anything wrong. And you just don't address it. You don't come out and you don't address it. Well, let me tell you, James, what you should have done in this situation is you shouldn't have addressed it. You should have just zipped your mouth, right? When Wet n Wild came out and they showed this palette looked like very similar to yours, you should have let your fans come out and do the work. You should have let the people that love makeup come out and be like, I can't believe this is happening. Now, everybody's saying James thinks he owns the rainbow, right? Well, I'm sitting here today and I'm thinking to myself, why is James stirring this up? Now supposedly he's come out and said publicly that he's going to address this publicly in a video. Well, gal, that worked real well for you last time, but good luck to you, okay? And so, I want to get in here something else that somebody said. Oh my God, I got Jaclyn Hill up in here. What was she saying? She's talking about people are coming for her on these tweets. This is what, okay, it doesn't matter. So anyway, so he comes out and he says all this kind of stuff. Well then, okay, Wet n Wild comes out and they said that it looks exactly like the copy that Morphe bought from this private label in China, okay? Basically what they're saying is James Charles didn't come up with this idea of this palette, that he and Morphe bought it from somebody, a distributor in China, okay? It was private labeled and he put his name on it. Well then that heated up old James, and James came out and he said, hey listen, okay? I spent hundreds of millions of hours, maybe two hours, but millions of hours, okay, on this creative process of copying the rainbow, and I called it the James Charles Release Your Inner Artist. People are going crazy with that one. And you're telling me I private labeled it? Well, maybe Morphe didn't. You don't know about it. I mean, I don't know. Allegedly, who knows, right? Morphe's not really saying a whole lot of stuff in this whole situation. So then I'm sitting there and I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, watching this Joey Graceffa interview today. Okay, so I'm gonna let every other drama channel talk about the palette because, to be honest with you, I'm bored of all that stuff, okay? But I am interested in why he's pulling it up and pulling it up and pulling it up and continuing to talk about it. And like I said, if you call a PR person, what they would have told you was, just let the public do it for you, okay? Had he not said anything, this whole idea of James thinks he owns the rainbow would not be out there. Well, why is he perpetuating this drama? James is smart when it comes to drama. James is smart when it comes to pulling views, pulling attention, all this kind of stuff, right? So I'm watching this video with Nikita Dragun, Joey Graceffa. So Joey Graceffa, he has started a new series. So he started a new... I'm not saying that Joey Graceffa is boring, but he's boring. Okay, but I will tell you that this new series, I have a friend of mine that she loves Escape the Night. I haven't seen any of it. But you know, it's been James' dream to get into this Escape the Night deal, right? Well, at the very end, I'll say that you don't have to watch the whole hour-long interview. At the very end, Joey goes, I think James should be in Escape the Night. And James is like, okay, well, of course, that's what this was all about. We already knew that, right? Now, I have to tell you, I haven't been real interested in Joey Graceffa's, his videos for, I don't know, about the past 8 years. Okay, but this I thought was really good. And I actually thought that this was kind of a direction that Joey could take. He is a really natural interviewer. I thought he did a really good job of, I mean, it's not highly edited, okay? So it's just, it feels like a natural conversation. They're sitting behind this campfire that you can't really tell is real or not. They make s'mores, it's whatever, okay? But what's interesting to me is that the very first two people that he picks to have on his campfire Kiki is Nikita Dragun and James Charles. Okay, well, Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada, we know, are friends with Shane Dawson and Rylan, right? But they're also friends with Manny, and they invited Manny and Laura to their Christmas party as well, because people talked about how they just sat in a corner and they didn't talk to anybody. But Daniel Prada, Joey Graceffa's boyfriend, has been pretty vocal about his support of Manny. Here we are again, moving sides. This is very, very interesting to me. You know, Joey even goes into this whole kind of idea of, you know, why are so many people interested in the beauty influencer community, blah, 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 right now. You know, and Joey's somebody that has kind of dabbled in that for a while too. In fact, he was one of the very first guys that like ever did the fingernails. Do you guys remember that back in the day with Joey Graceffa? He always had like really cool fingernails and all that kind of stuff. So, it's interesting to me because for me now it's like, okay, well, Jeffrey's got Shane and now they've got their top person over here that's just going to be the non-biased, objective person, and that is that Joey Graceffa. And I'm watching all this and I'm like, this is really interesting. Well, he titles the video something to do with drama, and I'm like, what is he going to talk about with drama in here? Because I had just seen Keemstar from Drama Alert tweet out James and say, hey, I'd like to do an interview with you and talk about everything that happened last year. And James said, no, I'm just trying to move on. Okay, well, I understand that. I understand the need to want to move on. I think we've all felt that at times. I know I have. But then, James, why relive it in this video with Joey Graceffa? Why not do it with Keemstar, but why do it with this video with Joey Graceffa? Okay? Unless the whole thing is contrived. But James has a hard time. If you watch him in interviews, a lot of what gets him into trouble is he doesn't think before he speaks. And I totally relate to that, okay? I'm unedited and whatever. But he just, like, Joey will say something, and before Joey's even finished, he's talking, right? I relate to that as well. So James isn't really thinking through what he's saying. Well, two huge things came out of this for me. First of all, well, a couple things, but I want to say Nikita Dragun is just, she seems so, like, intelligent to me in this video. Like, and really well thought out with what she wants to say and her responses and just her direction as a YouTuber and where she wants to be down the road. And, you know, it was so different to me than the Nikita that I see in the public eye. So my question in watching this is somebody that's watched Nikita for a long time. Nikita's the one that puts out the stunts, okay? She's the one that puts out all this problematic behavior. She tweets it out. She puts it on Instagram. She's the one that does all that. So I'm like, why do you want the public perception to be that you're messy, but you're really super intelligent? She talked about going to NYU, and I just was so impressed with Nikita in this video. And I was like, this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Why, then what you're saying is, to the public perception, that messy sells. Acting like you're a bad, BI, whatever, sells. And that's why you're doing that. Because you're really not that person. Like, this is true. You could tell this is who she was. I'm like, I ain't buying this messy act of hers anymore. I'm just not, okay? Well, then James starts talking in there, and at one point, they do talk about the drama channels, but at the beginning, they talk about something to do with friendships, okay? Joey asked him something to do with friendships. Now, the whole thing is so ambiguous when they address all this, it's kind of hard to understand what they're really saying anyway, but I'm just going to tell you what I took from it, okay? Was that basically friendships are built on YouTube as business transactions, okay? So we're going to do a lot of these friendship kind of things, have pictures taken together, do collabs together, oh my god, I love you so much, blah, 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 whatever, okay? But then, not everybody is meant to be friends. They keep on saying that. That it's not necessarily a falling out. It's just we realize we don't really have a whole lot in common. Okay? Well, yeah, and he goes, and that's normal. Well, first of all, James keeps on saying what's normal and what's healthy and all kind of stuff. You are YouTubers with 5, 10, 15, 20 million subscribers. Nothing in your world is normal, okay? You sold out normal when you chose to have that level of fame and public notoriety. I can't say the word! That being a public figure on that level. You sold out, okay? So, talking about a normal life, you don't have a normal life. And you traded that in, and that's part of being a public figure. I'm sorry, it just is. So he's talking about friendships and being normal, and that's something, like, hey, if you hang out with somebody and you just don't get along, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine, right? Unless you are selling that friendship to the public so that the public buys said products, okay? Because then they're your friends, and you act like you're good Judies, and you're sitting in somebody's driveway, and you're destroying makeup, right? Because you're really trying to get back at certain makeup brands. So you're sitting in your good Judy's driveway destroying makeup, when in reality, you aren't really good Judy's? That's just all for a video? No, I'm not okay with that, okay? I'm not okay with that at all. Then what you're doing is, you are selling friendships and social interactions to the younger generation who doesn't know any better, okay, for the sale of products. But then you want us just to be okay with that? So then Manny got really screwed over by this whole thing. Because then Manny is accused of being a social climber. None of you came out of his defense and said, hey, this is just YouTube. This is what everybody does on YouTube. Manny got really screwed, is still getting screwed, and not one person at the time came out in his defense. Interesting, okay? So we have all these concocted friendships that are fake. On the heels of Christine Seidelko saying, I'm tired, I'm leaving this because I'm tired of all of the fake drama that doesn't really exist. And I have to say, I appreciate that. Applaud to you, Christine, for saying that your integrity is more important to you than all of this fake crap. So how many of these friendships are fake? How many of these interactions are fake? Is it all fake? Are we all buying into this? So then they go in and they talk about the whole idea of sponsored videos. And this is a very, very short part, but it's an important part. Because James says there are only certain influencers he watches if he really wants to get an honest review of a product. Even he said there's only certain beauty gurus he'll watch because he knows they do really honest reviews. So you yourself are telling us, and he's like, I think people don't understand that the sponsorships or something like that, it's real fast. It happens real in there, are basically business, okay? So all these sponsorships, all the makeup that you're using in your videos that you're selling to the public is really just for money. No, we don't understand that, okay? When you sit on a video and you're using a product that you're sponsored by, and what you're now telling us is that you're only doing that for the check, and you don't really believe in these products, you think they're crap, and this is what we've been saying all along, this is what Marlena Stell said all along, and then you come out in a video with Joey Graceffa sitting by a campfire eating a s'more, and you basically validate that. By the way, Marlena Stell, who James Charles just blocked on Twitter, and basically all of this has been true all along. No wonder y'all are coming out against drama channels, because we've exposed what all this is about, and you don't want anybody to really know that the truth is, okay, that there is no truth to this. It's all fakery. Because if we stop buying the products that you sponsor, nobody's going to sponsor you anymore. And if we stop buying into the friendships because they're not real, they're all just for views, then we're not going to be watching your videos anymore. Then what will happen? We will be going to the people that really do honest reviews. Like I said, Raw Beauty Christie. And while we're discussing Raw Beauty Christie, why don't people like Shane Dawson and Joey Graceffa and all these other people that want to interview somebody about the beauty industry, or Connor Franta, or all these people that want to talk about drama in the beauty industry. You know, I mean, that wasn't what Connor Franta's interview was about, but okay, you want to put that out there? If you want to interview somebody about drama in the beauty industry, why don't you ask somebody that's successful, growing, and stays out of drama, like Raw Beauty Christie? Why don't you ask her from an objective point of view and say, how is it you stay out of it? Instead of asking the main players that continue to keep the drama going. I'm so confused by all of this, right? Then they go in and they talk about drama channels and how drama channels always get it wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? No. Drama channels don't always get it wrong. Sometimes drama channels go hard. I will say that, okay? But the majority of the drama channels that I see out there, okay? 80% of them, let's say. And listen, half of them I don't even know or have ever talked to or get along with, okay? But I would say 80 to 90% of what they put out there is based on fact from receipts that you influencers have put out there to begin with. So how is it we're getting it wrong? Because we're taking facts that you deliberately put out there, because James says in his video, he says everything that influencers put out there, they choose to put out there. So we take a receipt that you choose to put out there, that an influencer chooses to put out there, we put it out for the public, and then we're the bad guy? Oh, because we're standing in the way of how you want to manipulate the truth. Now I'm starting to see what it's really all about. Well, stop trying to use drama channels behind the scenes then, is what I would say, okay? And if people don't think that that happens, it does. I can't tell you how many influencers have tried to send me receipts on somebody else and have tried to say, why don't you make this video on somebody else? Don't think it doesn't happen, because it does. It happens all the time. And I don't play that game anymore, okay? That's why I'm not friends with any of these people, so I can have an unbiased point of view. And I'm not doing that stuff. So don't be coming to me and saying, oh, I got receipts on something. I don't care about your receipts, okay? Take your receipts and throw them in the trash. I don't really care. Make your own damn video and come out and be honest about these people. That's what I think, okay? I think it would be best at this point if James Charles just zipped it, okay? Zip it, James. You're not helping your career. You're not helping yourself at all. And your ego, pride, and arrogance is going to be the downfall of you, okay? I have sat on video after video, and I have really tried to understand James Charles and said, he's young, blah, 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 whatever. But this seems very calculated to me. Now, I want to tell you my conspiracy, okay? It's interesting to me because before Dramageddon 2, and this is why all this goes together. And this makes me sad, okay? Because I have to tell you, there are pieces of James that I really enjoy. There's pieces of all of these influencers that I really enjoy watching, right? And seeing and whatever. But it's just too much, okay? So during Dramageddon 2, right before it, you could not get your hands on a James Charles Morphe palette. Do you remember this? They sold out, they sold out, they sold out, they sold out, they sold out. You couldn't get your hands on a copy of it. My camera's gonna stop, hold on. This is so highly unedited today. Who care all day long? Who care? So I'm sitting there thinking today before I made this video, and I said, you know, to myself, I said to myself, I often talk to myself. I was thinking to myself, this is interesting, right? So James Charles had this palette, okay, that everybody wanted, but you could never get your hands on. Now this is all just conspiracy, allegedly. This is just me thinking in a dream world, okay? Now all of a sudden, you can get it. I just went on, I just got on, my new drink that I might review from the Disney Starbucks. I just got on the Morphe website, and the Morphe James Charles palette, you can buy. It's over there, $39. You can go get you one today. Okay, be in the mail probably, I don't know, in 6 weeks, because that place, it takes them forever to ship their stuff. But anyway, no, that wasn't shade, that was the truth. So don't come for me, okay? I might have some receipts about that. But anyway, so you can get a James Charles Morphe palette left and right. They're not selling out. Well, then all of a sudden this palette drops out by Wet n Wild. That's a complete dupe match, okay? Supposedly. Although I don't think it is. I don't think it looks anything like it. I mean, I think it looks like a rainbow kind of array of colors, but I don't think it's super similar. And then James Charles is going to come out and publicly address it. Why? Would it then maybe make people go back and drive attention, like go back and want the James Charles Morphe palette again? Can he not sell them anymore? And Morphe won't give him another palette if he can't sell this one out? Is that what it is? Does he have a business contract to sell so many palettes? And he hasn't hit that yet? I would have thought he hit it. I said videos back in the day, when will the day come where everybody has a Morphe James Charles palette? I guess the day has come. Nobody wants one anymore, right? But by driving attention to this story, okay, then it would make Morphe, you know, like start selling those palettes. I mean, people would want the palette again. It would get people interested again. People would look at it and go, oh, I feel sorry for James Charles. I want to buy his palette. Even though he said in his Joey Graceffa video, he's not a victim. There's a lot in there that I'm not addressing that I could. I'm just going to say, okay? And, you know, or it could get people really interested in it and they want to buy both and dupe them. But bringing attention to this story is only going to possibly sell James Charles Morphe palettes, okay? Or is there more to it than that? Could this be the whole reason that Wet n Wild put the palette out to begin with? Is there something going on behind the scenes, allegedly, in my conspiracy, right? That the Morphe palette isn't selling out anymore, so I don't know. Wet n Wild decides, with somebody else's help, to put out the palette that's an exact dupe, knowing they're going to sell theirs, but it's also going to push sales of the Morphe palette. Who would do that, and why would that happen? This whole thing, I just want you to know, the more I watch this beauty influencer drama and the more I have stayed out of interacting with these people, talking to these people, any of this kind of stuff, the one thing I have realized above everything else is that everything that these people do, everything that they do is all about money. Nikita went in there and talked about owning her own business and all this kind of stuff. This is all about the almighty dollar, you guys, okay? Everything they do, every friendship that they have, every interaction that they make, on and on and on, you know? Everything that they do is for a dollar. It's all a business. You know, James and Nikita talked a lot in this video about what people don't understand or what people do or what people talk. Well, when you're saying that, you're talking about your audience. You're talking about the audience that has bought your egg and your palette, okay? You're talking about the people that have watched your videos. You're not talking about drama channels. There's only 5, 10, 20 of us out there, okay? There's only 20 drama channels or 30 drama channels, maybe, are talking about your stuff regularly, okay? So what you're talking about is, I don't know, minus, you know, if you have 16 million subscribers, what is that? 15,900,000, I can get my glasses on, I can't do math, but minus 30 drama channels? Okay, so you're talking to all of those people, and you're putting them down to their face. And basically what you're saying is they're stupid, but see, they're your dollar. And if they're your dollar, you need to start thinking this stuff through a little bit more. And it's really sad to me, okay? Because at some point, this is not gonna work for them anymore. This contrived drama and whatever. And then when people start looking at their talent and their skills, I wonder what they're going to see. So anyway, let me know what you see. Let me know what you see. Let me know what you see. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.